Welcome back to the Sim Project, everybody. Down here actually shooting some helicopter video today. That you're going to see on the channel probably before this one, because that's probably going to come out later today, as in January 3rd. And what you're seeing now is probably going to come out in like a week from now. But anyways, what I focused in at the beginning when I started the video, my Garmin G1500. Now, I'm in the midst of a major remodel down here. As you can see, the G1000 is out. I'm going to pull the radio stack out here shortly. The 1500 is coming out. The display that's got vPilot up right now, it's coming out. And this is all going away, and we're working on something new. So today's task, well, actually probably going to be tomorrow's task, I'm going to pull the 1500 out. I've actually printed the rear housing assembly for it, because in the interim, after I get it out, I'm going to mount it right on top of that plate. And because like I said, all this is going away while I work on, well, you know what I'm working on. I'm working on the Vision Jet, and I've got stuff for it done. I've got to order a video card for my computer, because using a external, just USB powered thing was not working for the displays for the GTC 580s, because they are a 2K display. I can only get something at 1080, and they just don't like 1080. So got to figure that out to put a second video card in the computer. And yeah, until then, we got to have something down here I can fly, right? So I'm going to rip the 1500 out. I'm going to take it upstairs. I'm going to show you what the mod we're doing to it. And then I can tell you what I'm doing with the 1500. Okay, up here in the workshop, and I cracked that top frame, taking this apart, so I'm going to have to reprint that frame. No big deal. Printer's all set, ready to go. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to replace these buttons. Now, these are resin printed buttons. Painted black, resin print them white, paint them black, then take a little sandpaper, sand the black off so they backlight. Now that I've got the newer Bamboo P1S with the AMS, that's the new button. I don't know how well the camera is going to focus on that. They are a 2 print button, so it's nice and flush, printed in white interior, and you won't be able to see that, but there's enough white inside that the light will light up through that. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I guess, actually. First thing is to reprint that top frame and fix that. The other thing we're going to do is, that is the rear assembly for this unit. Because as you can see, this is currently in a panel mount configuration. I've printed all this out. We're going to assemble that, and this will take it into a desktop mount for future projects. Okay, so new frame printed, and actually I printed a whole new frame because I had to, because just with that one seam broke. Couldn't glue it properly, and of course it's glued all over, so you just can't take this back apart. Once you start, you got to change the whole thing. You're kind of lost there, but it's okay, because of course the original one was printed on my CR10, and this was done on the Bamboo, and it did a much nicer job. Our new buttons are all installed. Looks much better than the old ones. Working on the back, I've got the mid plates installed, and word of advice, if you ever decide you're going to build one of these from Flight Sim DIY, assemble this mid frame first, and then attach it to your forward frame. Get it all squared up, and then take the pieces off one at a time and glue them. The frame will hold everything nice and square for you. I had to flex a little bit just to get that corner to sit down properly, but everything's good, nice and clean. Just going to work out the installation of where I'm going to put the boards for the monitor. The Arduino I did swap out. Originally I had, what's that, a Pro Mini? Yeah, Pro Mini in there, which is, I don't know, what, 64 input, something like that. And really didn't need it for this, because I only got 12 buttons on it. I used it at the time because I had other plans. When I had this in the panel downstairs, it was running some other things. Now, because this is a standalone unit, I had a, what's that, a Pro Micro, I believe. 16 inputs. Only need 12, so that is the perfect little board to use in this setup. Okay, sitting here on the ground of St. Catharines. As you can see, got the 1500 assembled. All nice new frame. I gotta get some screws to go in there just to fill the hole, and that'll actually help pull the framework in tight. Currently right now on the back side, it's just some 2mm by 6mm screws hold everything together. But yeah, turned out really nice. Two-color print for the Garmin wording up on top with the P1S. Our two-color print buttons, and you can see the backlights coming through that just a little bit. I had the lights off a minute ago. Looked really good. Turned out really nice. This edge, I actually printed this whole case twice. Once because, or one problem because I accidentally drove a screw out through here. I was using an 8mm screw. 8mm was too long to come through there. I had to use shorter ones. And this edge, and I'll see if I got the parts upstairs. I'm not sure if I've thrown them out or not. And I'll do a side-by-side comparison. You can see how nice and round and smooth that edge is. That's a setting I had to change in the Bamboo Studio to get it to look like that. By default, it looked really ugly. There's about 9 or 10 or maybe 12 steps there to bring that edge up. By default, it made that in like 3 steps or 4 steps, so it was really aggressive and wasn't very nice looking at all. So we got our little legs back there. I do have to put some grip tape or some foam or something on there to add some traction because it slides all over here on my wooden table. I'll turn this around. Now, it did upset me. I could not find a bulkhead for the USB or the HDMI port that would actually mount in the back of the plate and look nice. Unfortunately, everything I found, they were too deep, and there's not enough depth in this thing. As you can see, it's probably only it's 1.5 inches, so you know, like 50mm tops. And there's just not enough to get that in, get it folded over, get everything done up, because you've got the parts for the monitor, everything back there as well, right? And same with the HDMI. So unfortunately, they just kind of have to hang on a short pigtail. The 12 volt, I did get a really nice 12 volt one for the power. And I don't know if you can see that down there on my power supply. I do have a amp gauge on it. We're drawing 1.5 amps total. 0.8 of, or 0.08 of that is the USB powered hub that I'm plugged into right now. So the monitor by itself draws 1.5 amps at 12 volts. Yeah, the Mobiflight, all that's dialed in and set up. As you can see, we'll push the soft key down here. We'll switch to that map, and I'm just using Panel Pop-Out Manager to mimic the two displays. We can look, all the buttons and everything works. The map options, that just changes the different details and stuff. We put all the details on, or the different steps. Go back to all. We bring up our charts if we want to. There's a St. Catherine's chart. Now, if I had the keyboard connected, which I do have built, that keyboard right there, I'm working on a case to hold that, to try and come up with a way to have it mounted down here, like, you know, like this in behind the throttle quadrant or something. But yeah, the keyboard does have a little joystick on there, and we could zoom and pan that map around on the ground chart. Go to weather. I don't have any weather running right now. It's just the default flight sim stuff. But there's our weather stuff, and as you can see, there's a scroll there. And again, we could use the keyboard and scroll through that window if we wanted to. And I don't have a departure or anything loaded because there's no flight plan loaded, of course. But we go back to info. Oh, actually, it did pull up with something there. I don't know what it loaded there for a second. I don't have anything loaded, so no, gave us approach. There must only be one approach to St. Catherine's, so that's why it came up on its own. We go back to info, and again, there's our different frequencies available, and you can see there's the bar again. We could slide through that with the keyboard if we want to do. All of our engine parameter information. Got the sync option on here as well, and I believe that actually syncs the charts and the maps together. That's not an engine sync on this. But yeah, there we go. Looking really good, looking really nice. I'm really happy with how this one turned out with that rear case and everything as well. And just how nice of a job that Bamboo Labs P1S I picked up does. But yeah, that's the video. That is the Garmin 1500 version 2, we'll call it, rebuilt. Took it out of the panel because, as you can see, the whole panel and everything is gone now. Just got the honeycomb yoke mounted to the tray there I've got on my flight sim seat. But yeah, so next, I got some parts coming for the VisionJet panel. I got some parts coming for the G1000 upgrade. I'm taking that from the TBM model I had that was tied into this and converting that to the full-on G1000 NXI Plus. I don't know what the letters on it as well, but the one that's got all the functions. Got the autopilot built into it, all the the controls for this thing as well. Very similar to what I've got up here, of course, set up on the King Air. You've got your menu controls for your flight plan that do mimic into the 1500, but as well, it's got the full autopilot suite on that side as well. But yeah, that is coming down the pipe here probably in a few weeks. And yeah, got some other cool stuff I'm working on too. I'm gonna keep that a secret. Well, not really a secret. I'm gonna build a motion platform, full 6 degrees of freedom motion platform for the helicopter for flying VR. Doesn't that sound cool? It's gonna be pretty neat. Probably figure that's gonna be a better part of a year to build that. So stick around to the channel, watch for those videos, and until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.